This podcast is brought to you in part by Academy Travel at MickeyVacations.com. Academy Travel is the official travel sponsor of the Pirates and Princesses podcast, and we can't recommend them enough. Go to MickeyVacations.com/PNP. That's MickeyVacations.com/PNP to get started on your next Disney dream vacation today. And now on with the show. The Redhead is packing heat, and they took the guns away from Han Solo. We're going to talk about that in this episode of Pirates and Princesses. Stick around.
Oh, hello there. So glad you could come along.
I put a spell on you.
Grid is live. Initiate light cycle battle.
Welcome, foolish mortals.
For a safe trip, remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the cabin. Be sure to watch your children, and no smoking, please.
Welcome to the Pirates and Princesses podcast.
We're a different kind of Disney podcast. We do it our way.
We talk about Disney parks, Disney movies, TV, video games.
Anything Disney.
I'm your host, Thom Pratt.
And I'm your other host, Kam Pratt.
Welcome back to Pirates and Princesses. As always, I'm your host, Thom Pratt, and I'm joined by my lovely but chilly wife,
Cambria Pratt.
Cambria Pratt, who's wrapped up in a blanket.
It's cold.
Because we live near Pittsburgh, and it's very, very cold. So, it's like,
very cold. I'm
it's
tired
not
of winter.
Florida. It's not Florida. We're not in
Winter
Florida.
sucks.
So we have some things to talk about this week. As always, we have things to talk about. So where do we start? Should we talk about Han Solo's guns?
Yeah, let's talk about guns.
Yeah, I mean,
Pew pew.
well, obviously, guns and gun control are huge issues right now.
We're not taking a political stance.
No,
either
we're
way,
not taking
no.
a political stance on that. However, Disney seems to have altered the movie posters for Han Solo because of the political climate. I mean, that's the assumption. There hasn't been any confirmation of that. But the Solo one sheets that had the characters on it, right? They airbrushed all the guns out of these posters and they re-released them. So we've got the characters in very strange looking poses. Like we've got Han's classic blaster shot that Harrison Ford did, where the guns kind of point at the camera.
Yes, because that's kind of Han Solo's thing.
Right,
He doesn't believe in anything but the guns.
Right. No hokey religions or anything like that. So he's no longer holding his blaster. Instead, it looks like he's sort of
This is what he's doing. He looks contorted.
He's kind of contorting himself, and the arm that they replaced doesn't even really match up with the rest of the.
No.
It's obviously they had another artist or something do it, or they did it on the
If you
quick,
have the one sheets with him with a gun, I'd hold on to that. The blaster sheets,
Yeah.
I'd hold on to those. But yeah, okay, so this isn't the first time Disney has done things like this, though.
No, I'm surprised that they're doing it this quickly. Because I mean, obviously, people are speculating this is in reaction to the unfortunate the school shootings a few weeks ago.
That was several weeks ago.
And I mean, it's a kind of I personally think it's an overreaction to.
Yeah, but I mean, this
that.
isn't the first time they've done this, because when you were doing comics and things, you had to go back in and take weapons out of pages in the comic books.
Yeah, Disney, now it's kind of, I think it sort of depends on who's in charge and what the political climate is. I've actually worked on Donald Duck comics. I've worked on Mickey Mouse comics. I actually spent a good week working on the Mickey Mouse comic one time, where I had to go through and take all the guns out of the Mickey Mouse comic, because the comic was from, I think, the 40s or 50s, and it wasn't very PC to have Mickey waving a gun around.
That was back when Mickey had some spunk. Right,
Mickey had some spunk and he had some ammo. But they took the guns out. Now that, to me, that's understandable, because they were marketing the comic toward children, and I can get that. And there are similar cases we had before where he took all the smoking out, like there were comics from the 40s and the character might have had cigars.
Didn't you have to do that before with like Uncle Scrooge and some things too?
Yeah, there was a Scrooge McDuck comic that I worked on where Scrooge had a ray gun. It wasn't even a real gun, but they made the gun look like a toy gun, like a green gun, to make it, which doesn't make any sense given the context of the story. Nobody would mistake that for a real gun. And even then, the actual stories that worked on, the characters were, they had handguns, they had machine guns, they had,
Well, this is a laser gun. It's a blaster.
Yeah, this isn't even a real gun. This is
the ones that go pew 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 pew. from Star
yeah,
Wars.
it's not even a real gun. So all the characters on the poster, they look kind of ridiculous now because, they
They look like
clearly
they're action pose, but doing nothing.
they're doing nothing.
They look like the face is like, we're in action, but their bodies are
And
like...
to me, just as a consumer, I'm like, this is going to be the most boring movie ever. Like, everybody's just going to stand around and give out off the blue steel or Magnum, whatever, the look at from Zoolander.
Yeah.
Like, they're just standing there kind of looking at the camera.
They're not going through and airbrushing all the guns out of the movie, I'm sure.
No.
That was the poster, but
It's a really odd decision. And,
what's this do to the Han shot first argument?
Han didn't shoot at all. I guess Han's just not going to shoot
Peter
in
and
this
Greedo,
movie.
they just sat there staring contest until Greedo fell over.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a really odd thing. So, okay, so that happened this week, but before that happened, the new Pirates of the Caribbean, or not
I was
the
going
new
to tell Greedo's story, and
Okay, go ahead and
didn't
tell
give me
Greedo's.
chance. You just keep talking.
Okay.
No, I was going to tell people, in case they didn't know this, because I'm all full of this Star Wars trivia, is that Greedo was actually a woman. It was the secretary in the office, and she played Greedo for the shot. Anyway.
I think you told me that before.
Yeah, if you see pictures, like there's photos from
Right.
the shoot, and she's in, not shoot, no pun intended, she's in heels. So I'm like, I just wanted to share that story before I could get it out. You're just moving on ahead. That's my job. Usually I'm the one that plows this forward.
Yeah, you're very cold and very tired, I think, today.
I'm okay, go ahead.
Okay, you're okay? You
I'll
good
be
to go?
fine.
Okay, so, anyway...
Pirates.
So,
Redheads.
right, so the revised...
We'll rule the world.
You do.
We
yeah,
will.
well, this
We're on it. It's a mission.
Pirates finally reopened this week. And now
At
we
Disney World.
At
It's
Disney
going to
World.
close down soon at Disneyland.
At Disneyland, and we're getting the controversial new scene where they've taken out the wench auction. So there's no more human trafficking in Pirates,
Which is probably a good thing.
right? Which I don't.
It's not. I mean, that was historically accurate, but I understand why they don't want
I
to
get
explain
it.
to children
I get it.
why.
I get it.
Why
I
are they
get-
selling her?
I get why they do it, and but the thing is that the scene they replaced it with is not very good.
No.
My personal opinion. Now we haven't been on the ride yet. We're going to be going down in a few weeks, but I have seen videos, and it's weak sauce, man. It's just it's really really weak. Now I thought it was actually a pretty cool idea to make the Redhead a pirate, and I thought, wow,
Well,
she's
yeah,
got-
because I mean,
and she's loaded. Like she's got a shotgun, she's got 2 pistols in
Yeah.
her holster. She's like ready to go.
have you met redheads?
And
I mean,
so
you're married to one, so
yeah, I know, right? So what we have, though, at the scene, if you haven't seen it yet, you can go out on YouTube and check it out, or you can go to thekingdominsider.com. We actually posted a video, a right-through video someone had done. But they're not auctioning people now, they're auctioning chickens.
well, it's better than people.
Well, it's better than people, but the scene it's weak. It doesn't work. And you've got the auctioneer, he doesn't have his classic lines. Now he's trying to get the pirates to bid on chickens. And the curvy woman, obviously is no longer being mocked for her curves, but she's holding the chicken, she's scowling, and
Yeah,
and
he's scowling holding chicken.
and he's like, what is it, a hen for a 10? He's like, yeah, a hen for or a 10 for a hen, anyone? I'm like, what? Like, that just doesn't make sense. Now, the redhead pirate, her part now, they've switched the lines around. She's actually the one making the comment about sponging for rum, except she's saying, that the pirates are sponging for rum, and she's auctioning off rum. So
and she's got a gun.
and she's got a gun. Yeah, she's holding a gun, auctioning off alcohol.
Han Solo can't have imaginary blasters,
Right.
but she can have a gun.
Yeah, I don't understand the logic. But she does get to speak for the first time, and
They named her Red, which I wasn't
named
very
her
happy
Red.
about.
And I don't think she's that bad person, but the auctioneer with the chicken thing just does not work for me at all. It's so stupid.
Well, I'm against naming her Red. One, we have a redhead. Let's name her Red. And 2, I hate being called Red. It's like, ask Tom. It's one of my pet peeves. I hate it. There was an incident involving someone calling me Red repeatedly, and I'm not going to talk about what happened to that person, but I don't like it.
Yeah, well, it's understandable.
But they named her Red. I'm like, you got creative.
I
No.
know. They could have, gotten creative with it, but yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to get into a big rant about.
I just thought it was funny. She got to keep her gun. They took away Han Solo's.
They took away Han Solo's, and again, I think it depends on who's in charge of.
Well, one's a media department.
One's Parks and Resorts.
Yeah.
And honestly, the pirate change, I mean, that went into effect months ago. They did the change in Disneyland Paris. So that's already, but I am kind of, I gotta tell you, I'm starting to wonder with the Han Solo issue and seeing as how Disney, like, okay, so here's the thing with the Marvel movies, no Marvel characters are allowed to smoke on screen. They're not allowed to smoke.
Well, yeah, I knew that. They do that with a lot of things, don't they now?
Yeah, which, I understand why they're doing it, but it's really odd when you've got, like, the Punisher on Netflix, and he's capable of, blowing somebody's face off with a gun, but he's not allowed to smoke.
Right.
It's
graphic violence, but no cigarettes.
Graphic violence is fine. So it's a really random. You've got Wolverine, who in the comics always smokes cigars. He does not smoke.
Well, kids shouldn't be watching Punisher anyway. I was saying Jessica Jones. She doesn't smoke, but she drinks like she drinks drinks or drink.
Some of those scenes are pretty risque. And Jessica Jones.
Oh yeah, they're pretty bad.
But she's not allowed to smoke, so it's just a weird.
Again, kids should not be watching Jessica.
No, they shouldn't be. But I'm just saying that like Disney's policy on this sort of thing is like all over the place. So you've got the smoking ban or whatever, and I'm hoping that because of controversy with the guns now, that they don't have like a gun ban in Disney and be like,
well, it's gonna be really hard to do a lot of things.
Well, I'm saying, what are you gonna do with a ride like Pirates, where they've all got guns?
Well, I'm thinking, Black Widow. She doesn't have superpowers. She's got fists and a gun.
Pretty much. I don't. But even the Han Solo poster, like Chewbacca, they took his crossbow away from him.
They did.
Yeah, he's just standing there.
Yes, because crossbows are real.
His
is like his.
Crossbows are.
I know that's what I meant.
No,
like
but his bowcast. Yeah,
it's not real. It's not called crossbow.
But they took all the weapons from the character. It's so weird. It's such a
laser
random.
Laser guns are real.
It's a random thing.
So if somebody gonna take away laser pointers, well, they already banned laser pointers from like Fantasmic. I don't know if someone was sitting in the audience like laser pointing at the. I bet that's what happened.
Oh, I don't know. So yeah, that's just, I don't understand what's going on there. Personally though, with the Pirates thing, back to that, I'm not impressed with this scene. Let's see, I'm going down the list here. We got a list of things to talk about.
We have to do this thing first.
This thing. Oh, the money thing. The money thing.
Money talks.
The money thing. Yeah, so Bob Iger,
everybody's kind of mad about this.
They're kind of mad about this because this comes on the heels of all the price increases and yada yada. Bob Iger is potentially set to walk away with, I think it's $423 million in compensation since they extended his contract.
Yeah, it's like if he gets under $16 million, if he lands the Fox deal, and he gets so much for this and so much for that.
Yeah.
And
which that's a pretty hefty paycheck. But then you've got to realize, I know people are upset, but Bob Iger is in charge of like one of the largest entertainment conglomerates on the planet.
I get that, but I think it was funny because I'm the one that told you about it. Because how I found out was people were losing their minds on the internet because they're like, wait, we have to pay to park, which was free parking because you have to have money, but you're going to give Bob Iger $420 million to stay longer. And people were like, I don't care about paying for parking, but there's all the issues with the employees and the strikes and all that with the employees. Yeah. And they're like, you can't take care of the money for them, but you can give him $428 million if he, does this, and this, and that's why people were upset.
Yeah. And I can understand that because there was some controversy a few weeks ago, again, that, some of the papers in LA were pointing out that Disneyland employees did not make enough money to realistically live on. But the flip side of that is they're in LA, and LA is incredibly expensive.
It's not just LA, they said Disney World too, a lot of them. It's just, when you break it down, those kind of jobs don't pay a lot of money.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. I don't think anybody expects those to be like long-term. Like it's some
people do.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Didn't he start out like sweeping? No, that wasn't him.
No.
That was the Pixar guy, Lasseter. Wasn't he the one that was out sweeping?
I think it might have been.
Or was it Iger? One of them I know started out working on sweeping street. I think it was him.
I know Disney's actually really good about hiring from within and promoting from within. I will absolutely give them that.
I think he went away for a while and came back when they bought Pixar.
Yeah, and there are people who did start with the company. There's some people that started in the company working at the parks, and now they're working in. And I forget one of the executives he actually left a couple of years ago, but he started out like working in the parks as
right. But I'm just saying, that's what people were mad about. They were mad because they're like, you're going to keep raising prices on people, nickel and diming people, and you aren't really giving there were all kinds of strikes and stuff because of wage disputes, and like you can't give people more money. and then you turn around and give him $428 million.
Yeah.
So I can kind of see both sides of this.
I can too.
Actually, I can see more of the side with people were mad. Honestly,
I understand it too. But then I'm also like, it's just these executives. I mean, you're in charge of a company that size, and they really had to throw some bucks at Bob Iger to get him to stay, and they really need. I mean, let's be honest, Disney, regardless of how you feel about it, Disney needs him to stay right now because, he has been the biggest driving force behind all the acquisitions, behind the streaming service, behind the Fox acquisition. He was the one who pushed for Marvel, for Lucasfilm, for Pixar. So, to have him cut out when they're on the verge of now he could, jump ship before the streaming service really takes off. So if the streaming service winds up...
I don't think the streaming service is going to work.
If it bombs,
it might.
He's in the free and clear, and he's got his
I think one, they're getting into it too
$423 million.
late. I think there's already a lot of people that are established. I just don't think it's going to go anywhere. And then they're going to him that much money. They're going to need that much money to recoup from the fiasco that is the streaming service.
Yeah, we talked about before about how the company is basically restructuring now just for this streaming service. So
right. Well, that and the Fox deal, if it goes
right.
through.
But then that's all part of it because they're getting all that Fox content too that they're going to put on the streaming service.
I don't know. I really don't know if that's going to work. We'll have to see. But I don't know. I just, and then maybe they should start throwing some more money at how to fix Star Wars. I'm just saying, because then Mark Hamill's been coming out now. And
that was it.
Train wreck.
South by Southwest, which is sort of an indie pop culture event that they have.
Most of them are pop culture events now.
Yeah, well,
they used to be called Comic-Cons. Now they're pop culture events.
Well, this has always been more, but it was more like a music,
and
now it's like music, film, games. Anyway, he was there with Rian Johnson, and they were talking about The Last Jedi, and he had some you couldn't tell if he was joking or not, but he made some comments that he was basically like, well, this is gonna be one of those movies where maybe the critics love it but the audiences don't, and I just had to treat it like a little art house film and whatever. And
I think he was joking,
honestly. and Rian Johnson called him a bleeping MF, and it was in jest. I mean, clearly they were horsing around, they weren't serious, but Mark Hamill has made several comments that if you read between the lines, he's not real happy with how they handled Luke Skywalker. And a lot of fans aren't real happy with how they handled Luke Skywalker.
Well, by the ratings on Rotten Tomatoes, I think a lot of people aren't happy how they handled a lot of things with Star Wars. But let's hope Solo's better. Oh, wait, they took out the guns.
They took out the guns.
So let's see.
Maybe so let's talk about a franchise we actually...
think about this.
Let's talk about something we actually do like, and the movies have been good. Guardians of the Galaxy. So everybody's looking forward to the Guardians of the Galaxy attraction in Epcot. They promised it was going to be revolutionary. It was going to be a family-friendly attraction. And now there might be some pictures out there of what we can actually expect on, I think it was Theme Park Reviews, one of these fan forums. Somebody had posted some alleged photos of...
Illicit sounds wrong.
They snuck over the fence and took pictures.
Illicit sounds dirty.
They're dirty pictures. Star-Lord. And Groot, don't ask. No. So...
Well, that's just a tree.
Yeah, right. So...
That's kind of worse. Never mind.
God. Okay,
they can't go over the fence because if you get too close to the cast member areas, they come out and follow you through the parks.
Yeah, this wasn't Disney. This is actually Vekoma, which makes most of Disney's. I think they make all of their roller coasters. They're the ones who do the smooth tracks. And I know they did Expedition Everest, and they did Mine Train, and I think they do most of Disney's attractions. So at their testing facility, wherever this is exactly, they had this new ride system, which they think is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy. And it's basically a coaster with like 4 seats, and it spins.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's on the track.
4 seats, good. Well, we can all fit in one.
Yeah, there you go. So it actually like rotates as you're on the roller coaster track. Now, it's not unlike another coaster that actually Lance, our friend Lance, pointed out to me on Facebook, and I can't remember. I think it's called Time Traveler. It's at Silver Dollar in Branson, and they just...
Is that the one they were having trouble with, and they were doing videos on it recently? They said they got it together, and it was going to go.
I think so. It's like a steampunk themed...
Yeah, I heard about that. It was on that theme park newsletter we get.
Okay.
I didn't read about it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so it's... So they're it's very similar to that, and that one's getting all kinds of rave reviews. And it's basically, the coaster is on the track, and then it freely spins, or they can actually make it spin.
Sounds like a mousetrap car.
Pretty much, but I'm thinking they can
Or
control
like Primeval, what they call it, Primeval World.
Primeval World.
Yeah, it sounds like the car for that.
The Wild Mouse.
Yeah, the mouse.
It's kind of like that, but it looks like it's a little more stable and it doesn't throw you around too much. But that's what they're thinking. They're thinking that the ride system for Guardians of the Galaxy is going to be. I don't know. I mean, if that's the case, it'd be pretty cool, but it might be Disney.
That sounds about right for Guardians.
Yeah.
Kind of unstable, throws you around a bit. Sounds
Yeah.
like Guardians.
Throw in some 80s rock music. Or
That'd be
something.
fun.
Yeah, it might actually be pretty
I'd
cool.
like that.
So, anyway, okay. Well, speaking of Marvel, we'll talk about that. Disney dropped on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, that they're bringing Marvel Land to Disney California Adventure. Mm-hmm. Doesn't surprise anybody, really, but they finally made
They were hinting at that D23 last year. I mean, they were pretty much saying it, but now they announced the Spider-Man ride stuff.
Yeah, so they announced that, they're going to add a Spider-Man ride to California Adventure. They're closing Bugs Land. The Spider-Man ride is the one that I think we talked about on the Kingdom Insider. They found the paperwork for it, the patent for it, and it's sort of, again, it's going to be a unique ride vehicle where you sit in the car and then they sort of suspend it from the ceiling on a cable and they kind of swing the ride.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, so I mean, that should be pretty cool. So that's, I'm trying to think what the opening date was for that. It was 2020? 2020?
I don't remember.
I'm not sure.
Anyway, we don't have it in front of us, so.
Coming soon, doesn't surprise anyone. What would be surprising is if we had Marvel characters come to Walt Disney World, or more Marvel characters besides
because
Guardians of the
right now
Galaxy.
it's all still tied up with the Universal at this point.
Right. So,
it'd be really surprising if we had rides that weren't based on IP. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So
that would be a shock.
This is gonna get into the meat of our podcast here, I think, because with all of the attractions being based on IP, will Disney ever have original attractions like Pirates of the Caribbean? Journey into Imagination. Will we ever have any Horizons? Well, we're not gonna have that anymore. I know, I mean, are we ever gonna have those kinds of attractions anymore? Because you think about it, I'm trying to think back to what was the last truly original non-IP related attraction in Walt Disney World. Was it Test Track? Was it Soarin'? I mean, it's been
Soarin' isn't. I mean, it's Disney Park now. It's tied into that, but Soarin', I don't know. What else has come up since then?
I'm trying to think of all.
Pandora's definitely IP.
Well, we had. Let's see. When did Test? Oh no, it would be Expedition Everest. That opened in 2005. I'm trying to.
I don't remember.
I'm just mentally trying to go through the parks here.
Well, whatever. The point is, they haven't done anything that wasn't IP based in a while.
Like 10 years. Everything that's up. New Fantasyland clearly was new IP.
Well, that's what was great about Epcot was everything was kind of
original
and based on science or communication or whatever, and
right.
not much longer.
Well, that's now you look at the overseas parks and they're getting original attractions like Mystic Manor, which is not
Mystic Manor. I wish they'd bring
is
that
an
over
amazing
here.
attraction, and they're not.
I wish they would do if they were going to redo Journey to Imagination. I wish they would do something like that with Mystic Manor and bring back Dreamfinder
And Figment. Yeah, because
that would be
very
incredible.
Similar. People have made.
If they would do that. If you haven't seen Mystic Manor, go look it up on YouTube. And first thing I said when I saw it was I could see them doing Journey to Imagination like this, and it would be amazing.
Yeah, it would be.
So they need to do that.
Lots of projections.
Saying it now, Disney, do that.
Yeah, if they did that, I think that would go over really well.
I don't think it'd be. I don't think it'd be that cost prohibitive to do it either. I think that'd be a lot easier than other, because it's mostly screens and stuff.
Yeah, Mystic Manor, it's mostly projections and screens.
I mean, it wouldn't be that hard to do, I don't think.
No, it's not like you're going to have a lot of animatronics that require...
I mean, they already cut the track down considerably, didn't they? And
Yeah.
everything else. So, I mean, I would look into that because that would be cool. So, Disney,
Yeah.
get on that.
Now, that's in Hong Kong Disneyland. The reason they came up with Mystic Manor in Hong Kong is they couldn't use the Han Mansion because of the beliefs about the
Belief
afterlife
system.
in China. So, Mystic Manor was a substitute.
Go look it up.
It's an
so
amazing
cool.
attraction. I've never been on it because I've never been to Hong Kong Disneyland, but the video is incredible.
Yeah, go look at that. It's really awesome. I wish they would do that during Imagination.
Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead. Back to what you're saying.
Well, back to what I'm saying is I'm just scrambling trying to think of original
You know what's
attractions.
easier
and I
to
don't
do?
think they have.
It's easier to try to reimagine the attractions as IP.
Okay, well
Let's do that.
let's do that.
We're gonna start out with Can You Marvel This?
Can you marvel this?
And we're gonna focus on Epcot because they're starting to Marvel Epcot. I think that's what they're gonna try to do.
Okay, so we came up with a list of attractions if they would completely retheme Epcot for Marvel.
It was actually kind of hard.
It actually was kind of hard to come up
Our
with.
second series we'll do here in a minute was a lot easier, but this was hard. Go ahead.
Okay, so can you Marvel this? Okay, so Spaceship Earth. What did we come up with for that?
Well, you count with it because I was like at a loss.
Spaceship Earth, since this big round planetoid thing, we thought, well, it could be Ego, the living planet from Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's like complete with all the dead bodies underneath.
There you go.
There's like a more comic based where he's kind of
just a
more cartoony
face on
and
a
weird.
planet. Or something.
That'd be like Dirty Imagination. It's already a face on the moon.
the Eric Idle moon
Yeah,
face.
but like,
yeah,
so we're
crazy.
like, here you go, trip through Ego.
Yeah, through Egos, and then you get to the brain in the middle. When you get to the top. We get to the top, instead of having planet Earth, you have a giant pulsating brain.
Yeah, and then you as you're going back down, you go through all the bodies of the
All the
children.
dead bodies.
So that'd be.
It's like this beautiful planet as you go through it, then you see the brain, and then it's like, yep, there's all the dead kids.
Well, I don't think the ending you can make much worse than it already is. I mean, that might be an improvement.
Dead children might be an improvement over the triangles and the stupid little app that you
I
play
hate
on.
that thing. The ending. I mean, I hate it. I don't like the new end. Well, not new is relative. I don't like the ending of Spaceship Earth.
10-year, yeah, that definitely is.
I mean, if you saw the endings before, they were all of them are better than this. But anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so the land we called it Groot.
What's up with Groot?
Groot Land.
Rocket and Groot, because it's all full of trees and stuff.
Yeah, and then you have
Make believe you're a tiny little seed.
Oh, jeez. So then you could go through the greenhouse and you can actually have like Groot with like fruit hanging off of
I
him.
am fruit.
I am fruit. I am fruit.
So there you go.
Groot. Okay, Living Seas. We could turn it into a frozen Captain America ride.
We couldn't think of anything else. But hey,
No.
remember when the plane goes down, he's trapped in the ocean, and then they find him later. Wasn't it Tony Stark's the dad found? No, that was Tony Stark found him.
Yeah.
Because he found him and they bring him back out of the water. So you could do the search for Captain America, search for Cap.
Search for Cap. I'm wondering if something isn't going to happen at the seas of because the anglerfish, the deep sea fish, is broken, and it has been the last couple trips we've been there, which is really disappointing because it just sort of like sits there.
Well, it's pretty bad when the Seas with Nemo was an improvement on the original Living Seas as it was.
Yeah, I know,
So
right?
it was so boring.
Okay, so test track, we figured it could be the Black Panther car chase.
That'd be kind of cool, actually.
Because you could have the whole thing. What was it? They were in South Korea, weren't they?
Yes, I want to go to South Korea
They
so
could
bad.
have South Korea, and then you could
Go to
actually
Seoul, I think. Whatever.
Yeah, and you could have was it Suri, his sister?
I love her.
Talking about
She's like the best
technology,
part of the movie.
and then you can ride the Black Panther car out. She's driving
You can,
it.
you know,
and
you can. Remember, she designed stuff with it, and it's like a virtual thing. You could
Yeah.
do some stuff like that when you're waiting in the queue.
Yeah, that'd be
That would
kinda
make
cool.
sense. I mean, that makes more sense than turning Wonder's life into a.
Black Panther.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
test
still-
track. Retheme test track.
Mission Space. We figured you'd do something with Shield.
Well, because the new season they were in space anyway.
Oh, they're in space.
It was awful. I mean,
Shield.
it was. I like Shield, but it was kind of really stretching it the last couple seasons. Anyway, go ahead.
Journey into Imagination. We figured it could be a Doctor Strange attraction.
Journey into Imagination with Doctor Strange.
Journey
And
into
Figment.
Strangeness. And Figment. Oh my god! And then you could have the music. You could have like a whole like kaleidoscope effect with Figment, and that could get trippy.
You could bend Figment in weird and uncomfortable ways.
God. Of course, Frozen. We would turn into Thor.
Yeah, you'd have
'Cause
to add
they're
the
kicking,
Rainbow Bridge and all that, though.
So they're you could have instead of Marshmallow the oh my gosh, I forget his name, the fire demon thing from the last movie.
Oh my god, that was great.
Like,
I loved
the
him.
end.
He was fun.
He could be at the end.
Yeah, our daughter doesn't like Marshmallow. She sure as heck wouldn't like him. I'm sorry.
No. Okay, so then we decided, okay, so if we're not going to Marvel everything, if they weren't going to build Galaxy's Edge, we could Star Wars. Epcot.
And Star Warsing everything at Epcot was way easier.
It was. So,
I had that list down in like a minute.
So can you Star Wars this? Now we're going to go through again. We've got Spaceship Earth, of course.
Death
you turn
Star.
Into Death Star. And they've already done that. They had the projection.
Show, but this time you'd make the whole thing a Death Star, and
Right, and then they could
like,
use some of
save
that.
Leia and
Save Leia. You can go through the trash compactor, and they can use that scent technology from Journey to Imagination to give you that, authentic garbage smell as you go through the trash compactor. That would be
you can go
lots
through
of fun.
different floors and things or different scenes in the movie. There, it works. It works better than Ego.
Yeah, and then you get to the top, and you could have like the Falcon and TIE fighters and
the
end.
Well, the ending when you're coming down, that's going on. You're watching that. You're
in
actually,
a trench.
You're actually going through a trench. I was gonna say that. You're
Backwards.
actually going through a trench backwards. And R2, you put
you
little
are-
R2s in each of the car, and
Oh
he's
my
back
God, that'd
behind
be
your head,
hilarious.
like beeping at you.
Okay, the land we figured could be indoor.
Well, that was a duh. I mean, that'd be a lot more exciting than the land.
Yeah, but I like the land.
I like land too, but I mean, you'd be on like speeder bikes or whatever.
You could have Ewok produce. You could have yub yub yams or something.
Yeah.
It could be shaped like a little teddy bear or something.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yum yams.
Living seas. It could be the Naboo escape. Actually, that would be pretty cool because you'd have all the weird fish and everything from the prequels.
And you wouldn't have to change much. You just change the Nemo things to.
Instead of Bruce, you've got.
You get Jar Jar in there. It's just almost as annoying as the Nemo thing.
He could sing you out as you go into the aquarium. Test track. We turn to a pod racing.
Well, yeah, that's the only thing that makes sense.
Well, they need to add.
Or you could do like the trench from the Death Star, but.
Well, that would actually be really cool, and they could, because I'm kind of thinking Radiator Springs racers in California, they race each other. So if you had another track, you could have like two pod racers racing each other. That'd be pretty cool.
That would be cool. I think this actually would make an improvement.
See,
on
we
some
should
of
be
this stuff.
Imagineers. We need $423 million a year to come up with these ideas.
They won't give you that. They might give you $4.25.
$4 Disney, you can buy that for $1. Mission Space is
pretty much all Star Wars.
All Star Wars.
I mean, you could do like, I don't know. I can't even think, but it's something like it's all Star Wars. Like Punch It, Chewie. Oh, it's Mission Space.
That should be the name of a ride. Punch It, Chewie. That's what the Falcon ride needs to be called. Is Punch It, Chewie. Oh my God, I would ride Punch It, Chewie over and over again. Punch It, Chewie. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Journey to Imagination. We turn to the cave on Dagobah.
Well, I'm trying to think what else would it be. You face your fears.
Master Yoda's Scary Adventures.
I mean, you face your fears. I mean, Eric Idle was the moon. It's pretty freaky scary. So, and you come out, are you good or are you bad? You know?
Frozen could be Hoth.
Duh.
You have
and you have Wampa instead of Marshmallow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, but then you actually found the use for it. We
couldn't think of anything for Mexico for Three Caballeros ride or whatever. We couldn't think of anything for that for Marvel.
We couldn't.
It wasn't like really stereotyping or being horrible.
I know.
People
I know.
and Tom's family are Mexican, so we don't want to go there. So
I don't want to go.
I know I don't want to. I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't go there anyway.
Are you talking about for holidays, or are you talking? Oh
no, I'm talking about anything you can think of with Marvel. Would
right.
You would have to do some kind of crappy stereotype. We don't do that.
No.
Like,
so
we're family that's Mexican.
We come up with other crappy stuff.
We have enough crap. We don't need to
make
enough
crap without stereotypes. No, we actually came. You came up with the Yavin 4 Rebel base.
Yeah, because they're kind of like in a pyramid.
Yeah.
So we can. I'm like, what could you use a pyramid for? Now that'd actually be an improvement. You could eat at the restaurant and watch the guy from Yavin 4 like scout for the attacks on top of the pyramid.
Yeah,
and then you can watch the X-Wings leave for battle. That would be fun, actually. I would.
So what's the story for that? Like Yavin 4 flooded, and you're in a little boat.
You gotta get your X-Wing boats out of there fast enough before the Empire comes, and you have to destroy the Death Star. You're on your way.
As long as you have K2 in it, I'm cool with that.
But K2, you're just mixing your timelines.
No,
man.
he was in the Yavin 4 base. He was in because Rogue One was right before.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I forgot. You're right. Completely right on that one.
So I thought that would be really cool.
That would be cool. See how easy the Star Wars one was?
Yeah, I know, right?
Star Wars one was like boom, 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 done. Marvel was like, okay, I don't know. Now, of course, in the Star Wars rendition, there is no guns. There are no guns.
We can't have any guns.
There is no guns. There are no guns in the Star Wars.
There ain't no shooting.
Yeah, no pew 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 pew.
No pew pews.
No pew pews in Star Wars.
Somebody said on the Kingdom Insider on Facebook, I posted that article about them taking guns at Han Solo, and they said, "Are we gonna start calling it Star Arguments now? Because
Star Arguments.
Because we can't have wars, so it has to be Star Arguments." And frankly, the Last Jedi was
just
a bunch of people
the
talking.
Internet.
Yeah, right.
I'm just like,
and the Last Jedi was just a bunch of people talking. So
it pretty much was.
And there's
a
couple of
talk about it.
Fights.
There's enough talking in the movie. We don't need to talk about it.
Star Arguments.
Star Arguments.
I don't know. This is why we're not in charge.
But lightsabers are allowed, but guns aren't, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for now until yeah they decide that that's.
But is using the Force still allowed, or is there something wrong with that too?
I don't know. I think anybody can use the Force, so that's okay.
It didn't used to be that way.
No.
They changed that too.
No.
Oh, everyone's special. No one is.
Everybody's special. Everybody's got the Force now. Anyway, so I think we're gonna wrap this one up. This one's gotten silly.
This is spiraling out of control.
This is
like Mission Space.
Yeah,
and the orange one. Yeah,
oh,
the green one.
The
green one
was
sucks.
Kind of lame. It was
it's boring.
Do you even go into space? You go up above the planet a little bit, and then you kind of go.
We came off that. We only wrote it again because the kids wanted to see the new one. And they're like, "That's
uneventful."
Things like that. They're like, the old one was way better than that.
I don't like the attraction in general because it's like this. It's like you're looking at this tiny little screen and you're like locked into the seat, and it's very cramped and.
And they blow air on you, and my daughter's like, "Wait, can you not breathe in here?" It's like, no, I'm sure you can breathe in here. They just want the authentic feel of the air blowing on your head.
Anyway, Mission Space, good times. I think I've ridden it like a total of 3 times in my life. Like,
it's not my favorite. It's not been popular
ride.
Since it opened. I don't know,
Knock it down, build Horizons, new
like,
Horizons.
You had to get rid of, things like Horizons.
No,
for that.
The official story is it was falling into a sinkhole.
Yeah, this one refuses to fall into a sinkhole.
Yeah, this one needs to fall into a sinkhole. They need to like sort of, just next time you ride Mission Space, jump up and down a lot. And if everybody jumps up and down enough, maybe the whole attraction will just fall into a sinkhole. And they'll have to build Horizons.
You can't jump down, you're strapped in.
No. As you're in line, just everybody jump up and down.
I don't think that's going to work. I'm just saying.
Try to push it down into the dirt, and then they'll put Horizons on top of it.
Oh, hey, speaking of, I don't know why this made me think of this, but probably because you said jumping down, I thought of jiggling. No, I'm going somewhere with this, I swear. So speaking of jiggling, we're going to run, and it ties into Star Wars, we're going to run for the dark side at Disney at the end of April.
Okay.
The dark side.
Oh, we are?
5K. We're doing
we are.
And I mentioned jiggling because Tom keeps joking he's going to strap a camera to himself and it's going to be a jiggle cam. And it's going to make people throw up because of all the bouncing.
Right.
So I'm sorry, my mind works in mysterious ways. But anyway, I was thinking that there are some bibs available.
There are. If you go to mickeyvacations.com and you call them up, they can hook you up with you can run with us or jiggle with us because we're
probably just going to walk quickly.
I think we're going to have a brisk walk.
A little bit of jogging thrown in.
A little bit of jogging if we feel like it. Depends on
we're going to do the best we can.
Or not. Yeah, I don't think this is going to go well.
We're going to see what happens.
We're going to see. Yeah, hopefully we don't get sweeps because I think it's if you do a mile over 16 minutes, they sort of push you off the track.
Yeah, you have to do it less than 16 minutes per mile, which is not hard. I mean, I'm sure we can do it.
Yeah.
I think we can do it. I think we can.
We'll just walk very
So
quickly.
if you want to come and hang with us.
Jiggle with us. If you want to jiggle with us at Disney World.
So wrong.
We'll be down there April 20th through the 22nd?
19th through the 22nd.
19th through 22nd. Yeah, so we'll be down there. And like I said, if you go to mickeyvacations.com and tell them you want to do the Star Wars 5K or one of the other events, we can get you hooked up with that.
And don't they have some deals too right now for summer?
They've got all kinds of crazy good deals going on. Yeah, they've got up to 25% off rooms is one of the deals that they have. And the other one is free dining for kids. Kids eat free.
If you buy a 3-day, 3-night ticket package with dining plan for adult, kids get free dining.
Right.
Ages 3 through 9.
So if you want to learn about that too, go to, because Mickey Vacations books all
you can
our
book
trips.
higher than 3 days. I'm saying minimum 3 days.
Right.
I better clarify that.
Go to mickeyvacations.com and go to current specials, and they've got all kinds of details on these deals. So Disney actually does have. I'm surprised they're having as good deals as they are this summer with Toy Story opening.
Yeah, they're doing well. It's opening, I believe, aren't they? Or they said it's like nights, but most of them are still included.
Most of them are during after Toy Story.
Yeah, I know, that's weird.
Like August, and so I'm really surprised about that because usually when they open a new land like that, they're like, you're not getting anything for free. You're not getting any discounts.
Well, don't expect a lot next year, I don't think.
With Star Wars opening next year, I would not expect deals. So if you're gonna go,
you can call up Mickey Vacations, say you want to jiggle with Thom and Kam, and they're going to be like, what? You know?
Tell them Thom and Kam sent you, and we'll all jiggle together.
You want to run Disney the dark side. You want to run with the dark side.
Because we are definitely on the dark side.
Some days.
So anyway, we're going to wrap this one up. Subscribe on iTunes, subscribe on Stitcher, subscribe on YouTube, subscribe. Check out the blog at thekingdominsider.com. And is there anything else?
Oh, I'm tired, so all I kept thinking was Kam and Tom, the other dark meat. I'm sorry.
Okay, we're gonna go. Bye.
Bye.
Pirates and Princesses is a production of Clownfish Studios. We are an unofficial Disney podcast, not endorsed or affiliated with the Walt Disney Company. You can visit us on the web at piratesandprincesses.net. That's piratesandprincesses.net. You can shoot us an email at piratespodcast@gmail.com. That's piratespodcast@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for listening and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.